Right. Go put in some shelf space.
Were you talking to
Shelf for what your feet show?
Mr. Deity, Mr. Deity, Mr.
Uh-oh, Sister Jackie's in the house. What's up, family? We're about to get it poppin'. Just wait for the intro music to end. It's about to end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got a caller already on the line. All right. What's up, caller? What's up, caller? I'm gonna let you go before I get started with my little monologue, and then we're gonna get right into these folk tales because I'm gonna make the show quick tonight. Who calling in, or are you calling in just to listen?
Brother Renee just calling you.
Oh my! Wait! Stop! Hold the presses! Hold the presses! Elder Renee is in the house. We're going to give Elder Renee a round of applause here on the Gye-Nyame journey. Oh my God. We have been blessed. The elders are out tonight with us, so it's truly a blessed night. And Brother Hatim, you know, I'm struggling. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey, family. It's real life, and I'm going through some stuff right now. And it's like I'm very upset, so I would love to have some good conversation. Did you have something in particular you wanted to talk about, Elder Renee, or was you just calling in to listen?
Oh, I was calling in and didn't know if was time for us to call in.
Oh, it's cool. I mean, it's always time for you to call in, Elder. Always time for you to call in. So,
Okay.
so if you got something you want to jump off on, Sister Regina, say what's up. And Sister Regina, it is your day, right? It's your day, y'all, right? We're gonna give it up for Sister Regina, cause she be checking in on her days. See, a lot of y'all don't know the rules of Gye-Nyame Journey. She checks in on her day. This is her day. She is a Yah, female Yah. She is Ujima born. So this is her day, her power day. And those, once you start falling into the rhythm, certain things start happening for you on those days. So Elder Renee, go ahead. Go and get the conversation popping off, because we could take it in the direction you want to go. We got another call in.
Just really calling in. I didn't know if it was time for us, me, you, and Kwame, where I could call in after I got off work or anything of that nature. Nothing,
that's not until August, because we got some other plans. But we got somebody calling in from California. Who is that? Hello?
I don't know who's calling in from California.
Right. Somebody.
I'm going to continue to listen and go ahead and keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And I either hit you back before the day. To all the listeners, peace from Gye-Nyame Village.
Peace. We building, family. Listen. All right. So, somebody, the person from California, you want to say something? Well, I see your information moving, but it's not. All right, cool. So we're going to move on. All right, family. So now, first off, I need to welcome you to the Congregation of the Mighty. This is the home of the stubborn minority, where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Hello? Hello? Of course, you know this is Tribal Quotes, and this is a Harvest Simple production. Will we strive to blow up your old paradigms? All right, California, you got one more chance. You got something to say? Go on, get it out. All right, California has been hung up on. All right, on to the next. So here we go, family. So in the news, because y'all know we got to, I got to cover the news. So I've been going through my timeline. Of course, y'all know we got the G&J Mall this weekend. G&J Mall is popping off. Family, from 12 to 6 p.m. Unfortunately, a lot of crew is going to be out. Right? A lot of crew is going to be out. So, I'm going to be working it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to be there. But a lot of family, we're blessed that a lot of the family going to be able to go to December camp. And a lot of the sisters are going to just be coming back from Simpson camp. So more than likely, they won't be there. Right? So we will do it with a skeleton crew and make sure that everybody gets exactly what they need. Now,
Daddy.
What's up? Is that Sasha Marsh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, my kids calling in now. They just want to always try to take over my show. Okay, you got something you want to share with the people?
I'm not from California.
No. Okay, y'all now their call is being routed through California. So I thought we had a California caller. Oh my God. I don't even know. Oh, I know how they got the number. So here we go. So the mall will be taking place on Kuumba. That's 629. That's this weekend from 12 to 6 p.m. Vendor tables are 20. We still have space. So by all means, feel free to join us. Now, also, so on the news, in the news, I got a Black Life article. Residents in West Baltimore neighborhood have been out of water for 4 days. Now, y'all know it's hot. So these people are out of water, but yet, we ain't hearing about this all on the news. You know what I'm saying? We hear the stuff about the immigrants, but we don't hear about what's going on in Black Life especially when it's caused by systematic failures. And we're going to start noticing a lot more systematic failures, family. There's going to be a lot of systematic failures creeping up upon you right now. Now, I need y'all to understand that because we are the permanent underclass, or we're being turned into the permanent underclass. And until we start raising the flag and demanding what's ours, we always going to be behind, family. So listen, Baltimore is just the start. I looked at that picture because, like, family, we have to be single-minded in what we're doing. We got to be multi-strategizing, multiple strategies, but we have to be single-minded about what it is that we need to get. And that's reparations. I'm just saying, family. I mean, and I know there's going to be some disagreements with that, and that's cool. But we have to be single-minded. We have to make sure that we lead all of our conversations. When we sit down talking with our family, we got to be talking about reparations. You know, at least throw that up in there in between when y'all talking about basketball, whatever y'all talk about. You know what I'm saying? Sitting around the family dinner table, or you go over your cousin's house, y'all smoke some weed. You take a good toke. You be like, yo, we need to talk about, reparations. Oh, we ain't never get no reparations. Yeah, and just listen. Right? And then start hitting them with the information. That's what the shows like this are for. So that you can have the information to combat the naysayers. This is the issue. Our issue is not whether or not they're going to give. What we have to do is demand and eventually move towards because I can't wait for the time when one of them says that you're not getting nothing. And by the way, Speaking of that, we have a Laura Ingraham slants preposterous reparation calls. No do-overs, that's it. Oh, didn't I just say that they was eventually going to get, listen, family, think about this. Look, y'all have to, we're going to go through this real quick and we're going to get to, I promise we are going to get to the Proverbs. We're going to get to it. But I got to make sure y'all got y'all talking points down because these are the arguments that's going to hit you. All right, so now, Lord Ingram slams preposterous. It's called preposterous. They done broke out the dictionary on you, Preposterous. Reparation calls. No do-over. That's it. All right, hold on. Fox News host Laura Ingraham is under fire for comments, and they got a picture of her looking evil. Oh my God, look at her face. I gotta lift it up because I'm scared. I'm like, have nightmares tonight. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what she say. Laura Ingraham is under fire for comments she made on her podcast during a discussion with Kentucky State University professor Wilfred Riley, who is a treasonous idiot. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. Not the opinion of Gye-Nyame Journey. My opinion is my opinion. Treasonous idiot. Right? And y'all need to learn words like treason. Right? We have to put that in there because we have to start erecting our borders, and we have to start defining what is appropriate behavior, what is not appropriate behavior, and start dealing with individuals. Right now, people can do almost anything in our communities, and it's cool. Right? I'm a peacemaker, and I'm guilty of a lot of that. I'm a peacemaker, right? I'm a family builder. I'm a nation builder. So I understand that I got my warriors, and I got some real warriors, and I got some scholars, and I got all that. So I have to manage all these personalities because I don't believe that we're going to get free just by being in colleges. You know what I'm saying? I understand we're going to have streets, and we're going to have those that's in between all that. We're going to have politicians, and we're going to have gangsters. Right? I understand all this, so I'm a peacemaker. And y'all got to understand that, right? But we still have to be able to define our boundaries. And one of the reasons people feel free to do what they do because the boundaries have not been defined. So let's get to Miss Laura Ingraham and Wilfred Wiley real quick. Author of Hate, Crime, Hoax. Wilfred, he wrote a book called Hate, Crime, Hoax. And guess who he focusing on the hate, crime, and the hoax? I just want y'all to know. You have to pay attention. Riley argued against reparations for slavery. Now, Riley he describes himself as Irish, black, and part Indian. Riley argued against reparations for slavery, saying there would be difficulty in determining who would be eligible and who would pay. He also said Native Americans could then seek reparations for the stolen land. Now, this is a doctor, but this motherfucker do not know that Native Americans receive reparations. Now, if they want to seek more reparations, that's their prerogative, but that ain't got shit to do with me. Or you. I mean, so people start convoluting the argument with a whole bunch of other stuff. They start piling on stuff onto the argument that have absolutely nothing to do with the argument. Native Americans' claim is different than ADOS claims. And this is why it's important to frame your identity and then border it off. So that when people come at you, like, because this is going to be one, well, what about the Native Americans? What about the Chinese? What about the Irish? And you know what your response should be? What about them? Ask them just like, what about them? What about the immigrant? What about them? Right? See, because the whole piece is people always draw on the humanity that we have as ADOS, because as ADOS, we have suffered so much. We understand suffering. And we understand, and in many ways, our hearts reach out to others suffering, and we want to help, even at our own detriment. But family, I'm just saying, we are at a time in history where we could no longer do that. See, because everybody want to come at us with this universal stuff and want to throw up all these other arguments to dilute what we're talking about. Like, do you not understand that the whole immigrant piece is, in a sense, some smoke to keep the attention off of you? You, out of everybody and everything that's going on here, are the only ones that have a legitimate claim on America. But let's go on through this. Because I got to get through it. I'm sorry. I have to get through. Riley argued against reparations for slavery, saying there would be difficulty in determining who would be eligible and who would pay. He also said Native Americans could then seek reparation for their stolen land. Idiot. In a clip posted online by Media Matters, Ingram replied, people would argue that the whole world, and I would, that the whole world has been reshaped by people taking other people's land. It's called conquest. Now let's be clear about the conquest that we are talking about. We're talking about Europeans leaving Europe and being a scourge upon the goddamn planet. Let's just keep it all the way real. So now, what is she saying? So let's go and continue. She said there was a totally different map throughout Europe and Asia, and added, they want to live in a fake world, as Trump always says. And she quoting the Great Pumpkin. You don't get do-overs. Now, family, I want y'all to listen to what she just said. Like Trump said, you don't get do-overs. When our president, the Great Pumpkin's whole life is about getting do-overs. I'm just trying to keep it real with y'all. This man's whole life is a do-over. He had the ability to fail several times. And each one of y'all out there that listen to me know that your children don't get an opportunity to fail. One time. One time. You know it. And I know it. And this dude that's sitting in the White House failed his way to the White House. He was so bad at business that he had to get a goddamn TV show to make more money so that he could build up a reputation to move into the White House. Come on, family. His whole life is based on do-overs. So he say when he say there's no do-overs, he don't mean it for him. He don't mean it for people like him. He mean it for you. You don't get do-overs. I promise I'm going to get to the folk. I'm going to get to the quotes. No do-overs. That's it. There was an argument sometime, I think it was in the 1980s. It was a quote, you won, we lost, that's it. Describing world politics. We won, you lost, that's it. That's just the way it is. This is this white woman saying it because now the rhetoric is going to start getting a little bit more aggressive towards us as we start demanding reparations, as we start demanding what's ours, as we start demanding our place in America. I got too many elders that fought in wars for this country that are not getting the full benefits of being American. I got too many young people that are not getting the benefits of being able to fail their way into success. Come on, family. Ingram later fired off a series of tweets slamming reports about her comments and blamed leftists for distorting her words. She also tried to explain her comments. For the record, the quote from my podcast, we won, you lost, that's that, was referencing the general world map that changed over millennia due to war. And we discussed how coming together as one people of all races would be the best path forward. Family. Black folks ain't never said they ain't want to work with nobody. We just saying we are old. And if you want to come together, let's level the playing field. Now, if you want to level the playing field in the opposite way, because I understand white folks get very sensitive when we start talking about reparations. Listen, very sensitive. And I understand. You saying you don't want to give us money. Let's level the playing field. There's no more inheritance. Because y'all only believe in good inheritance. Y'all don't believe in bad inheritance. I inherited poverty. I inherited nothing. Because my people was not able to produce anything. Not all because of them. So we want it all to go and be even, then let's do a reverse reparations. Nobody inherits shit. And we all get to start at zero. We take all the money and we invest it in the schools and everybody go to the similar schools and the best ones rise through their own merits. But no, you won't like that. We're giving you an option where you still could kind of keep your little lead. Right? It'll be better for you to just go and pay. Go and provide the resources. Because we built this shit. And it's getting to a point in time now where we're just waiting because right now your little girl Laura Ingram is speaking out what a lot of y'all are thinking. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting to a point where eventually some of us is going to be to a point where we ain't paying shit. I ain't paying taxes. Paying shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't miss me on all that. We find another, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to the military. Miss us on all that shit. Right? All of us just claim disability or some shit like that. I'm crazy. White supremacy is driving me crazy. I need Social Security. Bankrupt the system. Keep on playing. Keep on playing. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is where it is. She was, as noted above, referring to the general world map, but was also responding directly to discussion on reparations. And her comments that followed, quoted, were also on the topic. This is just preposterous. This idea of trying to divide the country up on, I guess, go through 23andMe and see who's what lineage and what percentage and when did you come here. I guess come up with an algorithm. Certain people get land and other people get cash and other people get opportunity. See, this is where they get you. They try to complicate the whole argument. It's very simple, family. You see, because of the way white supremacy worked, they wasn't letting black people in the country prior to 1965. So it's real easy for us to determine who was here by the records that they keep. How could defining who was here and who wasn't here be so complicated for a country that could tell each of us right now that's listening to my station, right now that's listening to this broadcast, how complicated could it be for them to determine who was here before 1960? America, who could take a missile and drop it right in your living room right now from San Jose, California. Come on, family. Don't let them get you with that. That's that. All of these arguments are foolish in a country that has all of the technology we got. All of a sudden, when it comes to determine, listen, they just found some World War II survivors' bones on an island. They are going to fly them to Hawaii, and they are going to determine who these bones belong to. Mark my words, they're going to do it. So you mean to tell me that you could find some bones that was buried from a battle during World War II, fly these bones to Hawaii, to a laboratory, and determine who these bones belong to, but yet you can't decide, you can't find out who's supposed to get reparations and who's not? Oh my God. Oh, it's perplexing. It's preposterous. Right? And we have politicians who, through the color that they were born in, have benefited their whole lives, that are telling you that it's not fair for them to pay up. So I want you, everybody, when Rent Center call you, because that's the life we live in, when Rent Center call you and want to collect your bill, I want you to tell them that it's not fair that you have to pay this bill. When the phone company call you, I want you to call them and let them know it's not fair that you pay your bill. They need to stop begging you. When the IRS comes, I want you to tell them that they need to stop begging for your taxes. No, you can't do that. Our arguments are the only ones that have a time limit. And even when you look at the time limit, many of us wouldn't have had the money or the connections to even make the claim in the times that they say that we should have made it, according to their own laws that were formulated by a government that we pay taxes to. My Elder Renee just called back in. What's up, Elder Renee?
I just wanted to bring people's attention to, we had a Malcolm X celebration, and it went over very, very good. And the thing that's really bothering me, that there's going to be a celebration in Hilliard, and they're using, and this is Arabs using Malcolm X celebration. I just want to make sure that it shouldn't be no attendance. I mean, that's your right if you want to attend up there. But you know, the money that we try to raise for the Malcolm X celebration here is to take our kids into our little warriors into the wilderness and let them go through rites of passage. And it's well done by the way that y'all conducted it this will be the second year. But to see how people are capitalizing off of Malcolm and how many Negroes will go out to that and support that. That's up under Xenophile. Xenophile means when you love everything but yourself. You understand? You can love everything, you know, but a xenophobe is a person that they just don't like anybody different. But the average Negro is a xenophile, and he can embrace everybody else except them. So, you know, while you saying Assalamu alaikum and Malcolm said that, Malcolm still wanted you to know who you are as a black person here in the wilderness in North America. And we try to put that on, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, or anything else, you're still an African before you even go up there. And I don't see too many of them people coming in or coming to our celebrations or anything of that nature. But they're trying to capitalize off of Malcolm because he made Hajj. And if you know the real history about that, he made Hajj before. Twice he had already knew about white Arab Muslims. So, you know, this is nothing new. But we're talking about Africans particularly. Malcolm had a great love for Africans, his people. So beware of people trying to capitalize off of our system like they've always done.
Always done
and they
it.
always will do.
Always.
Right. So, you know, I just wanted to bring that to their attention that they were the first enslavers in 765. You know, so we have to understand who they really are and why do they come in our community and gut it, you know, and make the money off us, and we don't get that. We don't get no respect or anything when you walk in their stores. So, you know, but you got this big bulletin in there that we're having them in Hilliard. This is a joke to me.
Right.
You know, and I hope they don't like it. You know, really I do. But it's a disgrace for any person to go up there and try to be cohesive with them. And you couldn't even come out and be cohesive with us. Whether we don't care if you're a Christian, Muslim, 5% or whatever. Everybody should have been gathered over there with us on that day. But I think it was the Asian fest going over another sign of
xenophile. All that xenophilia was going on, right? Man.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to make sure that you keep that on the front burner, because it's really something that we are trying to establish on Malcolm's Day, you know, and every day is a celebration for Africans. You know, if we can just come together and put all the little petty differences aside. And once they see us do that, they're coming. We really don't need their help. You understand? We could come in, whether you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever you believe. If you're an African, just try to come in and let's get together and try to get this thing, because really our time is running out. You know, this is a whole different ball game that we're dealing with.
Whole different ball game.
With that, I want to just say that to the listeners, peace. And here, Greece, and keep a smile on your face to one another and speak to one another. A common courtesy.
Hey, so y'all heard it from Elder Renee. I got one more little quick article I want to roll through, and we're going to get right back. We're going to get into the folktale. Forget reparations. Money won't solve black community problems. This is from a magazine called Daily Signal. This is why I keep on saying this is why Gye-Nyame Journey, we still Gye-Nyame Journey tribe. We still a tribe. But we went and said Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Gye-Nyame Journey Media, because we got to start getting, this is why we started the newsletter, because the first article I read you from was from something called the Daily Beast. But then this one's from something called the Daily Signal, because what they do is they develop their talking points and they attack things or big up things that are for them. And we have to start beating our drum as well, so that we can start getting our people the information that they need. We can't let them randomly just be going through Facebook and just grabbing shit. We need to have stuff compartmentalized and in an organized fashion so that our people can read it. That's what the news is supposed to do. The information is supposed to do, so that we can start getting people to really understand what's going on. And I want to read to you what the other side is saying about the whole reparations argument, so that because your own people going to use these very arguments against you. And what people got to understand is much bigger than just the whole reparations piece. Please understand, family. It's much bigger than that. See, because what I want is the yes and the action, or the no and the action. You understand what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is we are in an uncomfortable stalemate. And this is the dangers of the stalemate that we in. Because the stalemate has allowed us to go deeper and deeper into an illusion about where we are. And it is my responsibility as a nation builder to make sure that my people are able to tell the real from the unreal. And many of you believe that you exist in the reality that you really don't. So I can't go to my grave knowing that I said nothing. When a lot of us are living an illusion of inclusion, an illusion of progress. We control almost the same amount of wealth that we controlled when we was on plantations. Family, how is that possible? Unless we truly are lazy. How is that possible? Please, somebody out there, justify it. How is that possible that we control the same amount of wealth now, totally supposedly free, that we held when we was in chains? Unless there's some systematic piece, or unless what they're saying about us is true. I grew up with a man, and I watched this man get up. Almost 7 days a week before the sunrise. And I would watch my grandmother cook him breakfast. And I would watch them do their devotion. And I would watch this man day after day after day after day go out and support his family. Not just his immediate family, but his extended family. I seen him open up his house to dozens and dozens of people. Him and his wife. Watched this for years and years. And then I watched as he died with absolutely nothing, family. And I'm trying to tell y'all. This is the fate that they have for you. And it's only getting worse. And the key piece that I keep trying to tell y'all, and nobody seems to hear me, is the fact that the same amount of money that my grandfather did all the stuff that I'm telling you right now that he did, the same amount of money that he was able to do that with, I make the same amount of money. My grandfather had a 6-bedroom house with a livable basement. I make the same amount of money as him. I got me a little 3-bedroom apartment. My grandfather would buy his wife a car every other year, possibly, and kept a car himself. And when he wanted to travel, he bought himself a van. I'm making the same amount of money that my grandfather made. And many of y'all making the same amount of money that my grandfather made. But yet, you can't live that life. America has moved on. See, we look at college and we say college is expensive. No, college is not expensive. College is the price it's supposed to be. You just ain't supposed to be there. Elder Renee, I got all these elders around me. I got all these elders around me in my life that went and fought for this goddamn country, and we are not receiving the full benefits of being members of this country, and it's okay with a lot of people. And that's not okay with me.
That
I'm sorry, go ahead, Elder.
See that, as my ancestors, and my great-great-grandfather who ran away and fought in the North, and his son fought at San Juan Hill, and my grandfather fought in World War One, and then my father fought in World War II, Korea, and the French of Vietnam. These people were going to fight, but they were trying to they were really fighting for not civil rights, they were fighting for human rights. See, we're not even, people don't understand the Declaration that we're not even equated into being a human. You understand what I'm saying? So we have been mythicized into this mindset that we think that, maybe just possibly if I make a little bit more, or I go eat where master eats, or I do this. This is how they get by us with this foolishness that we think that this is going to set us free. Freedom is not, I'm free because I know who I am as a black man, but as far as in this country, we're still striving to be human. You understand? We're not considered human, and people don't want to understand that, and we're not in the Declaration of Independence. We're not in that. That's not our story. They're not talking about us, and they're not talking. I don't really care whether they're talking about white folks or not, but we're not equated in there, and if we are, it's property or anything of that nature. So we got to really understand where we stand at and how our ancestors that worked hard, bought land and everything of this nature that came in. I'm a homeowner. I've owned a couple homes. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a Vietnam vet, but that has no validity when you stand up against white supremacy. You understand? It doesn't have it, but I'm not even concerned about the white supremacy right now. I'm concerned about us coming together, just coming together and putting our money and try to make have our own land. You understand? This is what our ancestors that was trying before us, get that land. And see, we don't have that. We're not equated into that, man. And people think that, we're in it, you understand? But they made sure that there's strict laws about just how far that we can go. And they don't want to talk about that. You understand? Because don't nobody study. We have more doctors, we have more lawyers, we have more black police officers, but we have more incarceration. We make 66 for us in penitentiaries, you understand, or on parole, or on drugs, or on this, you understand? Because why? We're not settled with ourselves. We're not settled with ourselves. I'm a recovering addict. I know that of not knowing about yourself. It's self-destruction when you don't know who you are. And why do we have to live like this? And this is, money ain't going to make you free.
See,
I don't care how much money you got.
Right. Right.
But it will help us if we want to build something.
That's right.
What makes me feel good is when we come together and there's no arguing or no disputation. There shouldn't be no kind of foolishness in, if there's a disagreement in the village, and whether you right or wrong, as far as I'm concerned about my aunt, and you have been disrespectful, you should always go. That's why I went back and apologized to Tyree Village. That's why I went back and apologized to the elders. Not because to make them feel good, it's because something I had to do. I'm going to have to cut off right quick, brother.
That's cool.
And I really appreciate you letting me say anything.
No problem. Peace. Now, family, another piece that I want to cover. On the 29th, the day of the G&J Mall, that will be 1956. 1956. 50 years will be 2006. So that's 2050 plus 13. That's 63 years, I think, somewhere around there. 63 years. They started the interstate highway system. Now, one of the arguments that I have with a lot of my folks is because we say, we talk about what we're not doing. But a lot of my family are old enough. Family, I'm going to think about this. Think about this. A lot of my family are old enough to remember before interstate highways. Now, I want you to go back just that 50 some odd years And see, for some of us, it goes back into the 60s because right after they finished the interstate highways, they started doing the interbelts within these cities. Now, I want y'all to think about, what does 70 run through? What do 71 run through? In Columbus, and those of you that live up in Akron, what does 77 run through? And is it that goes across? I can't remember the one. Is it 76 to go across? What do those run through? What does the interbelts in all these cities run through? We have to understand, family, because one of the things we got to always remember when we're doing a historical perspective about our people is that everything that we could do, we have always strove to do. Right now, many of us are living in artificial communities that were erected for others. We're getting the leftover homes and shit. We're being forced to move in and pay higher prices than everybody else. When at one point in time, there was thriving communities that was all ours, that they ran expressways through. Every generation, they do something to throw the whole group off. This is generational warfare, and we have to start getting our minds right. Because the reason the unity is not there, because the confusion is there. Then on top of that, we're not using the Nguza Saba right. I'm about to do something on that. We're not really looking at unity in the way we need to be looking at unity. But then that's a whole nother episode. All right, so let's get to this real quick. This is by Walter E. Williams from a newspaper called the Daily Signal. Black man, another black man. See, we got the black man brigade coming out, the idiot brigade coming out talking against any type of reparations discussion, right? And family, please understand, here on Gye-Nyame Journey, when we talk about reparations, we ain't just talking about you getting a check, right? We ain't talking about one lump sum payment. We're talking about resources, we're talking about land, and we're talking about a little pocket money possibly for you, or a little bit of money to put away that you could save. Some of y'all gonna save, some of y'all gonna go out and blow it. That's strictly your business. But we got to understand this is a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for payments generationally. Like we don't want to just get no one lump sum dropped on one generation, because we already know what's gonna happen with that shit. It has to be stretched out. Schools have to be free, medical, all that shit has to be up in there, because we have a lot of shit that we have to deal with as a community. And I'm not voting for shit that has to do with anybody else until they handle our business. And that's my mind state. I can't tell you what your mind state is, but I'm going to say what your mind state should be. I'm a human being. I feel for everybody, but I have to put mine first. All right. Some Democratic presidential hopefuls are calling for Americans to make reparations for slavery. On June 19th, the House Judiciary Committee Subcommittee on the Constitutional Civil Rights and Civil Liberties held a hearing. Now, I want to be very clear about the hearing. Now, one of the reasons that reparations is dying down in the media, and the reason we got to keep the conversation going, because I know a lot of y'all are like, brother, I tell you, you've just been on that, blah, blah, blah. You get on certain things, you say, listen, we have to keep beating the drum. Why? Because they know that if they throw something symbolic out there for us, like this hearing before the hearing, this wasn't even a real hearing. That wasn't the HR 40 type, the committee that was supposed to be formed. That was a hearing saying that we need a hearing. Symbolic. We give black folks something symbolic, and we can always say, hey, we already had that discussion. We're working on it. Come on, buddy. You need to get involved. We need your vote. We're striving. We're trying. No, we don't need striving. We don't need trying, because you don't like us coming to your job striving and trying. You want results. We want results. We want more than a commission. We want individuals that's able to come in the room and start dropping prices. We want individuals to start talking about the resources that need to be made available. That's me. Its stated purpose was to examine through open and constructive discourse, the legacy of transatlantic slave trade, its continuing impact on the community, and the path to restorative justice. Oh, that sounds so symbolic. That sounds so beautiful. America, America. It sounds so beautiful. Let me say that whole sentence again. To examine through open and constructive discourse the legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, its continuing impact on the community, and the path to restorative justice. Sounds so symbolic. Don't fall for it, family. Y'all got to stop falling for the empty rituals. You know what I'm saying? That's the trick bag. Y'all be falling for them empty rituals. And nah, dog, no. I've been to some real rituals. Listen. I done been to some real lit rituals. And then seen some blood flowing. That's not it. That wasn't it. That was just pretty. Slavery was a gross violation of human rights. Justice demands that all participants in the transatlantic slave trade. Listen, because now here's the next trick for you. Justice demands that all participants in the transatlantic slave trade make compensatory reparation payments to slaves. However, there's no way that Europeans could have captured millions of Africans. See, this is why it's important that they keep you thinking about Africa in a continental fashion rather than Africa as a group of countries and Africa as groups of different people. That's part of the trick bag. As long as you can look at Africa as a continent and a totally united continent, you always gonna fall for the tricks. The liberal left continues to push the radical agenda against American values. The good news is there's a solution. Oh, that's a commercial, my fault. That means compensation would have to be paid by Africans and Arabs who captured and sold slaves to Europeans in addition to the people who bought and used slaves. Listen, now they're taking the argument away from the government and putting it on groups of people. So Africans, those groups over there that sold, Arabs, the group over there, Europe, right? So they're trying to get us to get back to the argument where we're expanding this whole argument with the world. See, the reparation movement we got right now, ADOS, strictly going for the American government. It's up to America to pay us our money. Where they're gonna have to go get it. They need to go get some countries in other places and other people responsible. Then that's on them. We're not doing all this shit. And that's where they kind of confuse you with the argument. Well, you got to get everybody that was we got to get the individuals that we was paying taxes to. And we got to get the place where that made it legal for us to be in the position that we in. Y'all can't play with me. Come on, family. I've been reading too long. Y'all playing games since slaves. And see, there you go. Since slaves and slave traders, owners are no longer with us, compensation is beyond our reach. It is a matter that will have to be settled in hell or heaven. Like hell? Nah, hell no. See, there you go. See, they time out your shit. But other people, think about this. America, Europe, everybody supported the Jewish people when they demanded to have their land back, even though they hadn't been in that land for over 2,000 years. What makes their claim that Israel was their homeland any more valid than our claim that America owe us money? Y'all fucking with the wrong one. I ain't got time. I'm gonna get off of this. I'm getting into my Proverbs, and we're gonna go and talk about the Proverbs real quick. Feel free to call in. I'm sorry, I have to go off on these because I only got a couple minutes with y'all. I have to go off on my tirades, right? So here we go. Day 76. This coming from Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes compiled by Brother Hatim. Day 76. Mark Twain. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Anime, can you help me out? I know you kind of, I know you chilling, but can you help me out? No? I'm going to read it again. There you go. Yeah, that. No, it wasn't supposed to be explosion. It's supposed to be... Courage is the resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. That's Mark Twain. There's a good deal too strange to be believed. Nothing is too strange to have happened. That's from Thomas Hardy. Last one from Burkina Faso. Here we go. Those that blow on fire will run from smoke. Those that blow on fire will run from smoke. All right, so let's start with the first one. I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to get off of here. It's time for us to say goodbye to all the family. MICKEY. No. So here we go. Courage is the resistance to fear. Master of fear, not the absence of fear. Listen, family. Think about this. Those who claim that they are fearless, we need to move outside of our borders. Once again, I keep on talking about these borders. And a border allows you to establish a safe zone for you and yours. In our homes, we have borders, and the doors provide protection from the outside world, and the walls provide protection from the outside world, right? Erecting something that sets limits from the outside coming in, and in some cases from the inside going out. So it's protecting. Borders protect the group. And borders are erected to, in a sense, not to stop fear, right? Not to run from fear, but to control fear. You know what I'm saying? We have to realize that in the life that we live, we're always going to run up against obstacles. And for us to constantly try to act as if these fears don't exist is, one, dangerous, and two, disempowering. We have to learn how to master that feeling and work even though it's there, right? Because anybody that's been in any real conflict, any real battle, know that fear is real. Fear exists. And we can't allow that fear to overcome us to a point that we can't take action, right? But we can't allow the fear to overwhelm us to where we're doing stupid shit. Some of us claim that we're not scared and claim that we don't have fear and get out here and do some extremely dumb and dangerous shit to prove that we're not scared, when in fact you are actually proving that you are scared to those that really know. Now, what this got to do with us as a group? Family, listen. Whether we're loving or whether we're fighting, fear is always going to be there. There's a chance that there's a chance that you can be deceived. There's a chance that you can be hurt. There's a chance that you could be killed. There's a chance that you could be in prison. There's chances and all these different things that could come and that can highlight the fear that you are experiencing, family. But we have to have the ability to master that and deal with it and live with it and move regardless of it. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not the absence of it. Courage is resistance to it. We have to learn how to resist it. Not act like it's not there. Because when we act like it's not there, then we start acting as if it's not there, and then we start moving stupidly. Many of us are acting like it's not there. Like, for example, when we sit up here talking, when you had your first conversation with somebody about reparations, fear gonna be there. If you don't acknowledge the fear, you're going to start having stupid arguments. In your conflicts in the community, when we're trying to bring everybody together, there's going to be issues that arise. It's going to arise fear. But if you act like the fear is not there, right? Rather than mastering, courage is the ability to overcome it, right? Because it's going to be there. But when you deny it, you leave yourself open to be conquered, to be mastered, to be enslaved. And the only thing I'm saying is, family, come on now. We got to keep it real, at least with each other. Because I be scared as fuck. Every time I turn on this thing, I have to, I have to take me a breath and then jump in and just dive in and do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm making an investment right now that's scaring the hell out of me. Right? Gye-Nyame journey, we was making an investment that scared the hell out of me. But I was willing to do it, but then, other factors happen, so now I got to deal with those factors. You know what I'm saying? And I'm scared to do that, but I'm going to have to do it. I'm scared every time I get in front of a crowd, but I got to do it. I'm scared every time I step in front of a classroom, but I got to do it. I don't let the fear, I don't sit up there and act like that shit don't exist. Matter of fact, I use it to push me and move me to the next level. Every time you see me in a situation, walking, and that fear is there. I'm not in denial of the fear. As a matter of fact, that fear has saved my life a whole bunch of times. But also that fear has given me power beyond that. Let me put it that way. Let me put it this way. That fear has given me more power than acting like it was not there. And speaking of the fear, family, many of us, we deny parts of ourselves. We deny that. But I'm going to get out of here, family. I got some issues going on, and I am messed up right now. So, family, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great night. I'm out. Peace.